This was not supposed to be like a scripted thing. I got my friggin' tea. I'm going to be using my vape in this stream. I'm not going to be. This is just one-on-one with me and everyone else. This is bothering me more than it should, but like the two dangling tea bags right where you go to drink from
He ate my chicken.
gets me every time. Oh no. I just heard myself. I don't have my headphones on either, so I shit. I don't want to listen to me. Get me off that. I want to, who wants to listen to me? I hope everyone's been doing well. I mentioned before that I would do kind of a one-on-one stream after we hit the 200 follower mark, just because that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. I think those kind of moments are important to have every once in a while. And Jalen in the community is actually partially to thank for that, because he was the one who pointed out how much he enjoyed those one-on-ones before. And a lot of the people, like I call them legacy members now, but Raven and Sal, they weren't here the last time I did one of these. So I thought, I thought it was beneficial. How's everyone else doing this morning? It's so hot. God damn. Hey, Sal. Fuck. Burned my tongue. Shit. Gotta, you gotta sip carefully. This is what you came here for. It's just you come in to watch me, like, look into the camera and drink tea. It's just, it's, no, no, it's just a staring contest stream. It's just, God damn it. Fucking lost. I didn't last any time at all. All right, so maybe that's not going to be one of our staples on this channel. Is those high octane staring contest streams. I don't think anyone came here for that. Oh. No. But I can't though, because I'm me. So I gotta do what I would do within all legal limits, of course, on camera. Oh. So I've been doing well. We've had our ups and downs, of course. I think it's the same thing for anybody, really. You always have your ups and your downs. But recently, listen, I did not get to choose that, okay? That couch is from 1932, and it's never been touched. I'm totally convinced. That is the ugliest couch I think I might have ever seen in my entire life. Whoever made that hates people. Alright? It's to the point where I've covered it up partially with a blanket, because I figured that couch would, like, cause people not to follow this channel. And it feels as bad as it looks. There's no getting around it. It's the truth. Disappointed. It had so much potential. It could have been great, but instead it's a monster couch. The creator of that couch does hate the world. What a monster. The channel itself has been picking up a lot of traction. I like it because of his hate behind it. Mr. Giggles built that couch with his own 2 claws. The channel has been picking up a lot of traction. Well, more traction than it has the last 8 years, I think would be safe to say. This channel was kind of weird to begin with because Jalen found this channel around 62, 64 followers, but almost all of those followers were from years ago because I joined Twitch very briefly as kind of really just a way to, I guess it's kind of just a way to get away from, I don't know, to be able to, live streaming was getting more popular back when I made this Twitch account for the first time. And I don't think any of those, like, first 60 people still watch this channel. If they do, incredible. Jesse, there's a, if you ever see anyone comment name Jesse in the Twitch chat and I start freaking out, it's because he's probably been my longest supporter. When I was on YouTube, he would watch my videos religiously. I still think about him all the time. He drew me this piece of fan art once, and I ugly cried. It was really like, this was back when I was making a lot of YouTube videos, and none of my videos were really getting views, but he would still be there. He'd be there commenting all the time. I have no idea. I don't think I've ever watched him. I have no problem with Felix as a person, but I do not like his channel. Yeah, that's the thing. I've heard, like, him as a person, he's actually a pretty decent guy. I just never got into his channel. I'm just watching that follower count just, like, start ticking down. So I thought, now that we have more people here, I'm talking to people, getting to know more people, that I would talk to you about who I am as a person. You see me a lot, obviously, on the channel. I've told bits and pieces about who I am, but I figured this would probably be a good opportunity to let you know who I am. Gonzo! You know what? I'm gonna say that's an appropriate reaction to that, honestly. Is that how you spell Gesundheit? I'm just realizing now that I don't think I've ever seen someone spell it out. I gotta look this up now. Holy shit. Holy. I've actually never seen it spelled out, like, in front of me. It looks super weird. Oh, Konzo's dropping the culture card. Well, that's fair. I've never seen it spelled out, though, and it looks super odd, but now that I know it's German origin, this spelling makes a whole lot more sense. You learn something new every day. It isn't even noon yet, and I'm already learning new things. Culture cards everywhere. They really started handing them out in the recent years. I lost mine. I just drew a new one out in crayon. No one takes it seriously. I don't know why. It's just me representing my culture. So I'm Michael. You know that. Well, a lot of people call me Electric. I run the Electric Mindset. Just me. And that's probably not surprising, but I don't think there's until you get really, really big, no one really has a team of people unless they're strictly, you know what, besides the point. I started making content in 2006 when Ustream first launched, and I released really shitty guitar covers and camcorder videos of Guitar Hero. Hey, Fatal. Just like explaining something, then quickly call someone out. Hi, Fatal. I hope you're doing well today. Listen, my attention span can't handle that kind of multitasking. What would you like to say to your 2,000 random followers? No, you got to stop doing that, Sal. We can't. You can't get your hopes up like that. You just got to kind of go with the flow. You know, got to go with the flow. Can't get too wound up in it. So initially, when I started making content, I started making content because of depression. When I was back then, I was a pretty miserable person, and I kind of hated life. And I thought, if I start streaming, or I was not streaming at the time, well, technically streaming at the time, but mainly a lot of these feelings came about with YouTube. I was like, people will see me, and they'll know me, and that will give me comfort, make me feel better. And as many of you know, growing on when you're making content is exceptionally hard to do. So all that did was cause me to crash, and you should have seen me. I was like your trope streamer when I started doing it. It was like schedules, and you can catch me between this time and this time, and I'll have uploads up at this time. I would have like my analytics page was bookmarked because after every video I'd be going back a couple times a day to check like the views and to make sure things were going well, and of course they weren't because I was releasing shitty videos back then, and like I was too afraid to let my personality come through, so they were like these really like, hi everybody, welcome back to the Electric Mindset. We're going to be checking out this game here. It's been a really, really long time, and I'm really excited. If I only got one view. Sometimes I wouldn't even. I was one of those that would be like, if you really liked what you saw here today, make sure to like and subscribe. You know, it really, really helps me out, and I love getting your feedback. Going back and watching my old videos makes me cringe so hard because it was like watching me pretending to be me, but having this weird layer of of like fakeness in the center of it, but it was really obvious. I hated it. Subscribble is a word I've only used with you, and it actually comes from a YouTuber it's Call Me Kevin. That's the YouTuber. He has a Sims series, and I think at one point he starts doing social networking in it, and he will like labels all of his like description video in his videos in The Sims as like subscribble. And I fucking loved it. So I absolutely took that. I still love it. It still sounds so funny. But I'll take you back to before I started making content. I was born in Alberta. It's where I live now, but we moved away when I was 5. We moved to Nova Scotia. My dad got transferred for work, so me, my mom, my sister took off to Nova Scotia. And we were there until I was about 7. When I was 7, my mom was diagnosed with cancer, and shortly after that, my parents split. It wasn't related, it was just really poor timing. And so my mom took my sister and I to Sarnia, Ontario, which if you know about Sarnia, Ontario, I'm really sorry to hear that. It's kind of like a dust bowl. It's kind of in a dip, and it's got ethanol plants like all around it. So you're essentially just being smoked out the entire time that you like live there, which I'm sure I'll hear about that later from some people. But it's true, damn it. Me living in Sarnia with asthma was a nightmare. Back then, I was pretty much what you see now. I was video games. That was really it. Video games and reading were the only two things I really enjoyed, and I did them religiously. I wasn't very much of a friends person. I was more of a isolate myself and hope that the world gets better type of person. I didn't really realize it at the time, but when my mom got cancer and my parents split, that had a really big impact on me. I don't think it did at the time, but looking back on it now, I can see that it most certainly did. So we were in Sarnia. My mom was undergoing treatments, of course, and my grandparents were able to come from Chatham. They were about 45 minutes to an hour away from Sarnia. They would drive down, make sure that me and my sister were like taken care of and fed, and my mom would be taken to her treatments and stuff like that. But eventually, that trip was just becoming too much. So my mom ended up deciding we were going to move to Chatham because she had a ton of her family there. My grandparents, like I said, were from there. So it would just make the whole process of going to treatment and getting us taken care of a lot easier. And shortly before the move, my grandparents passed away in a car accident. But we still ended up moving up to Chatham, and things, they got better with time. My mom did beat cancer. She's the strongest woman I know. I tell people she's like the Betty White of Ontario, and it's weirdly true. She really, really is. She's like the funniest person you'd ever meet, and holy shit, is she's tough. That woman can do anything she puts her mind to. I'm not even kidding. So I just spent a really long period of time after that. I was 10 by the time, turning 10 by the time we made it to Chatham. And at that point, I had pretty much given up on the world. I was depressed. But I was one of those people who I didn't want to admit that I was depressed, because growing up, when I was about 5, I was diagnosed with ADHD. And it was something my mom was really, really, really big on, because back then they didn't know a lot about ADHD, and she didn't want me to just be diagnosed with something I didn't actually have in case that was just me being a kid. So she had me go through about 9 months to a year of testing, visual tests, auditory tests, stuff like that, to confirm that all this stuff was kind of going on. And after a lot of testing, they diagnosed me with type 3 ADHD. And essentially what that means is, with type 1, I believe you have like a hard time focusing. Your attention span's kind of shot. It's often kind of referred to as ADD. If you have type 2, then you're fidgety. If you ever are holding a bottle of any kind, you're going to be peeling the labels on it. You can't sit still. Your feet are always tapping. You will like pace all the time when you're on the phone because you can't sit still. You need to constantly be doing something. And type 3 is a combination of the two. And that's why, like, a lot of the times on stream, you might catch me go to say something, but I've mashed 2 words together, or one word leads into the other. We're just doing a little catch up on me. This is a one-on-one stream for 200 followers, so I'm kind of going back to before the content making and letting people know who I am. Yeah, life. Back then, they did have me on medication for it, and it was not well. It was not a good thing. Like I said, they didn't know a lot about ADHD at the time, so it essentially just made me a zombie. And after a lot of frustration, I left Anti-Meds for that around 14, 15 people. People! You fucked me up. That's what happens when I read chat. And one of the worst part, no one said people. Welcome to my mind. Isn't that the best thing ever? I read followers, and instantly in my head I was like, people. You're welcome, fuck Sally. Just derail it. You're gone for like 5 minutes, come back and derail the conversation. Okay. High school was high school. I don't meet a lot of people who had a totally perfect time in high school. And me being me, I isolated myself like anyone else. I was still kind of in my zombie phase. It wasn't until probably about, I would say, 16, I stopped taking medication because I was frustrated with the person it made me, because it was like, it was like being constantly in a fever dream. You didn't feel anything. You weren't hungry at all. You couldn't sleep really. So you just stayed up for sometimes days just playing games, if you were me, or playing guitar. At 15, I picked up the guitar, and that was another thing I really kind of fell into. And then it was 16. 16 would have been when I started making content on Ustream. And like I said, I went really, really hard on it. There was a period of time. My first song I learned on guitar was Son by Rammstein. It was actually what caused me to buy my guitar, because I heard that song and I was like, I could probably learn that song. even with no knowledge. It's like dun 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 dun. That's all it is. It's that entire thing forever, and it's the easiest thing in the universe. Yep, that's exactly what it was. Yeah, so that was the first song I learned, and then I was a huge Muse fan back then, and I obviously still am. And I that was what I learned like all of their music. And there was a point, I was releasing somewhere from 2 to 5 YouTube videos a day. On times I would release as high as 10. And it would just be constantly recording, editing, and then it turned into me recording like 3 or 4 hours and then making as many videos as I could out of that and posting them. I got some feedback from people saying I was kind of drowning out my own content because I was putting up content too fast for people to watch. And it was kind of this weird point I was at. I was partially making content because I wanted to like make sure people were getting a lot of content, but I was also making a lot of content because my depression was taking a nosedive. It was getting a lot worse. I was getting into, I would say, the more suicidal side of things. I was, it got bad. It got really bad. And I'll remember there was a point where I woke up one morning and I had a phone call. And it was a phone call telling me that my cousin, who, when my mom was going through treatment, my cousin he was older than me, like decently older than me. But when you would hang out with him, he would always treat you like you were one of his friends. When he brought you out with a group of one of his friends, they were like just like him. You did not feel like you were the little kid in the group. They always made you feel like you were meant to be there. And he was just a really good influence in my life, I think, because when my times got really, really bad, he made everything seem kind of better. But unfortunately, I got a phone call one morning saying he had passed away from an asthma attack. And after that, my YouTube channel went dark, maybe for close to a year. I would post little things here and there, but the constant uploads stopped. I was kind of at a danger point for me, kind of at one of the lowest points I could have been at. It was kind of tied in with other things as well, because at that point, it wasn't long after I had gotten out of college, and college was a lot of money spent for no progress. I took courses that I thought I would enjoy, and as it turns out, I didn't enjoy them at all. I liked the idea of them, but once I started doing them, I couldn't imagine doing that for the rest of my life. But I was $20,000-$40,000 in, and there was nothing to show for it. I ended up getting really, really big into drugs. Pretty heavy. Pretty much everything. I think everything that I've heard of, at least, except for like 2 or 3 things that I refused to do, I fell into pretty hard. But I did meet some really great friends who I still have today during all of that. And I really did come out a different person after all that, I think. I was more self-aware. And I think being more self-aware is what made my depression worse in a way. Because before, I was able to play a game, record a video, edit a video, come up with something kind of new that we could do that hadn't been seen before that would get like more people to see me. But I didn't have that anymore when I became more self-aware. The things I would use to push those feelings to the backseat weren't working anymore because I was constantly looking in the backseat for what was there. And it caused me to end up almost completely leaving making content for a while. But over time, I did start to get better because of that self-awareness. And I think it was in that I realized I just loved making content. There was a friend I had growing up who wasn't a big game player himself, but loved watching games. And me and him would spend tons of nights just playing the dumbest games, laughing our asses off, going for 3 a.m. trips to the grocery store, to buy like random shit to fuel our gaming nights. And I really loved that feeling. And I realized that that was what I enjoyed most about making content. That feeling of sitting down with a friend or friends, going through weird or awesome games together, laughing out loud at the funny moments, and like throwing your fucking arms up and being like, "What?" at the crazy moments. I Those are some of my best memories growing up, and I wanted to make content just for that. So I understand when I go and I talk to people about how I'm not necessarily looking to grow anymore or make money or make this my job. I find that's a very easy thing for people to take as me putting down the people who do want to make streaming or making content a career or do want to make money from it, do want to build up that kind of empire. I can't think of a better word, but you get what I'm saying. It's in no way like that. It's that I spent 10 years doing just that. And because of it being combined with my depression, I learned that I can't do that. For my own well being, I simply cannot. I understand not having a set schedule might hurt me. I understand not having like set games that we play might hurt me. It's just that doesn't matter in the long run, not to me, because I need to focus on my well being. And the few people who I have got a chance to meet through doing things the way I do things have been some of the best people I could have ever hoped to meet. Some are super weird, but we're all fucking weird. And that's what I love about it. When I come on and I start streaming, a lot of the times the regulars who come into the channel, it feels like I'm sitting in my room playing games and my best fucking friend just walked in through my door, took a seat, and is like, "What are we playing today?" It is the best feeling in the world now to come in stress free and make content, and actually to have it be reversed from where it used to be, where I come in and I sit down some days and it's just a bad day. There are days where I wake up and I just don't want to be around. They don't happen as often, but they do happen. And I'll come in and I'll sit down, or if I'm getting ready in the morning, I'll look at my phone, and there will be 2 or 3 people in the Discord saying good morning. Or there will be people when I sit down to stream who will come in and make me laugh. And they can completely change my day. I think in a way streaming has now become part of my healing process. Whether I have people here or not, the 2 or 3 people that will regularly pop in, they have done so much more for me than any doctor or psychiatrist or anything like that, because they're just genuine friends. They're just genuine good people. And that is pretty much what led me up to this point now. It's what you see me doing now is not that different from what I've been doing my entire life. It's just been music and video games. I'm a reader, but a picky reader. I like to find, like, if I find a good book, I'll go through it. But I've never been, in real life, I've never been a big people person. The more people you add to a room, the more uncomfortable I get, and the quieter I get. Even if it's like 10 people that I know really, really well, I will start getting quieter and quieter. And I've always been like that. I don't know why. I've always been someone who's been much more content being by himself, or I guess more comfortable being by himself than being around a bunch of people. But then again, if I go out somewhere and I have to deal with people, I can be very personable and stuff like that for a set amount of time. Streaming isn't like that for me. I can come on and I can stream for 6 hours and I can have a good time because I'm just playing games with friends. Really all it is. Been a learning experience though. I don't understand anything about this whole, like, you know, you need sub emotes and you need all this other stuff. And I have emails going on right now with someone that does some pretty great stuff, or stuff in the style of what I want. It's not pixel art, but I'm waiting on someone else for that. So I'm taking care of the back end stuff. But to be completely honest, this is going to make me sound like a really bad content creator, but I really don't care about that stuff too much. Yeah, I really don't. I don't care about sub badges or emotes. I constantly tell people who follow me, unless you just want to get rid of ads, you have absolutely no reason to sub to me. It, like, I work full time. I think I get like $1.50 whenever you sub to me or something like that. So don't ever feel like you have to sub to me. There's a reason I haven't, like, as soon as we hit affiliate, got those emotes and sub badges up. I really don't care too much about them, but I've had enough people talk to me about it now that I'm doing it. I've opened up email talk lines. I'm getting there. I feel like this webcam sucks dick and I hate it. That's technically true. That's how I launder all of my money. Well, not my money, but money I've stolen from other people. Obviously, you don't launder your own money. I'm not a psychopath. That's another thing too. So since I first started talking to people about, wanting to get better, going to bed a little bit earlier, taking care of my stuff like that, I mentioned to people that I've had a vape for years now to get away from smoking. I used to be a 2 pack a day smoker. It really was, so I used to smoke a lot of weed, like copious amounts. My body consisted of more THC than anything else. It was I was living in a fever dream. But then I got a job where I couldn't smoke it anymore because they had mandatory drug tests, and it was like a one and done deal. You fail one, you're gone. So I had to quit smoking weed, which whatever. But the person I was dating at the time smoked cigarettes, and she had kind of said, "Well, I know you really like smoking that, but you can't smoke that anymore. Why don't you try smoking this?" And then it spiraled out of control from there. It was a goddamn nightmare. It was only like a year and a half, maybe, that it took me to go from never smoking to being 2 packs a day. I'd be sitting there recording videos, and I would have 2 ashtrays on like my computer desk. And in a day, I could easily fill one ashtray and get halfway filled on another one. It was gross. And it so I had mentioned that I was going to be eliminating the nicotine from my life as well, because the vape was really good at getting me away from cigarettes, but I was still technically getting nicotine. So I was like, I half quit. I took away a lot of the negatives, but I have always planned for my vape to be a stepping stone, not to be a replacement. And I have been doing good. I don't have a bottle of the old stuff from 3 weeks ago, but this is where we were at. See, you're just looking at the color, but this is where we were at, I would say, like 2 weeks ago. And I have that because it's just left over. And this is where we are now. I know, crazy, right? So what you're essentially seeing is I used to use 12 milligrams of nicotine in my vape juice, and the last one I showed you has none. I've been bringing myself down from it. Holy shit, the first little bit was pretty friggin' miserable. I was the most irritable person on the planet. Like, little old lady going like 10 under the speed limit, and in my head I'm visualizing like running out of my car and breaking her neck in the street. And then like eating her body whole like an anaconda, like disjointing my jaw, starting from the feet, and just, you get the point. I was a goddamn monster. But things have balanced out. My streams actually stopped almost for a little bit. There was days where I'd be like, yeah, I'm going to be streaming later. And then later I would be like, how many kids in a daycare could I kick before I get arrested? And then I just decided maybe I shouldn't stream that night because I was agitated, and I was agitated and not okay. But things are so much better now, and I've noticed big differences. I wake up with a lot more energy. I am eating a lot more, which was the big thing. I weigh like 120 nothing, like it's weird. And I'm now eating like a goddamn racehorse again. I think cutting out like the nicotine And I've also been cutting out weed because when weed became legal in Canada back in what, like October or something, I decided, well, I'm older now, maybe I can see how it is. No, I'm like a fucking I turn into a complete and utter moron when I'm high. Like, I'm the type of person who will walk in like after that and like look at the calendar and be like, look at the day clock. That's the type of person I am. None of the shit I say makes sense. If you think I mix up words when I'm sober, when I'm high, my words straight up do not make sense anymore. It's like listening to audit like it's like listening to hieroglyphics, but only getting it in audio form. Not like spoken, like someone just like describing the shape of it to you is how I sound all the goddamn time. How's it going, Tick? Yeah, see that? I'm not I'm just gonna call you Tick. And you can't get upset by that because Tick and the Flea was an awesome show. Spoon! I don't know if anyone's gonna remember that show. Now I'm just some fucking weirdo screaming spoon on stream. So things have been going overall pretty well with me. I haven't been really working on music as much. We're just talking about everything. We hit 200 followers. One thing I had mentioned to someone is that I would be doing kind of like a one-on-one thing where it was just me talking to the community about me, giving you an opportunity to get to know me a bit better, other than the little tidbits I toss out there. The type of person that I am, I'm a very upfront and genuine person. And I find that in today's society, or not in today, in the current streaming content creating ecosystem, when you come to someone and you talk to them like that, they've been through the ringer so goddamn much, they automatically assume you're trying to sell them something. Like, if you go in and like, hey man, like, how's everything going? They're already right off the bat got a little hesitation of, oh, here we fucking go again. It's like going into Subway. You see the two people standing there. You go to the first person, you tell them what you want. I'm sorry, what did you want? And you've got that fucking eye roll because you already know, here we go again. And then you got to get to the second person and get a gauge on their personality, and it's just derailing a little bit there. So it's nice to have these one-on-ones because the more you can see of me, the more you can understand that if I come to you and say, hey, I hope you're doing well, or hey, just checking in, you know that I'm not trying to sell you anything. You understand the type of person I am a bit more. I've got nothing to sell you, honestly. All I got to give you is me, and even then that's kind of like a bogus deal. I'm like the target of people. I got a little bit of everything, but none of it's perfect. Oh, I love that analogy now. I'm gonna put that in like my obituary when I die. He was the target of people. Nearly perfect, but not quite. You know what? I'll take it. That's not a bad one. I am not like Walmart. I have standards. I know when to go at a business. I I will say, oh yeah. So Devil May Cry, why we had the most miserable time getting that to work on stream yesterday. But while I was making it on stream, I made this really random and terrible. I made this really random and terrible tune. I don't know how this is gonna sound. I don't even know what I called it Untitled DWADW, which means I was probably in a rush and it was just called Untitled. Hold on. I don't know how this is gonna sound. Probably not gonna be great. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Something didn't like it. It came out today, actually. I was playing it last night when it unlocked. I just made your whole day, didn't I? That makes me feel good. I want to see if I can find this tune. Here it is. It's like, how long is this? It's 31 seconds. You ready for this? Ready for this? You like that? I made that while I waited for Devil May Cry to unpack. I'm super excited for Sekiro. Every single time someone says it, I think my heart rate increases a little bit. You have no idea. It's like, dude, my Untitled, my little tiny clips, whenever I get a little tune stuck in my head, I'll hop on and I will make a random tune out of it. So my work in progress list has the funniest names out. Like, this one's just called Soft Boom Basses. What the fuck is this? Oh yeah, I remember this now. There we go. The first part was just like, what if I made a tune like this? But oh, I have so many like little things like this. They're not mixed or mastered at all. They're just like these little jotted down clips. They're all like 25, 30 seconds long too. No, Sal, you gotta get new water. Honestly, I play so many games I couldn't tell you where you know me from, but I do know your name. Not in real life, but I know your name on here. This is one. I remember I actually like this one. This will probably turn into a song someday. Not with none of these instruments being the same, but this will probably turn into a song someday. I just like the horns in it way too much. This is awesome. I love it. Oh, I'll show you one more. I'm not getting sidetracked with all this stuff. I could go through this work in progress folder for an entire year. For it trust me. Swingington. Swingington, I think, was one that I really, really liked. Swingington. What? Let's see. There was one more on here I think I really, really liked. Oh, it was this one. This one will be a song someday because I love it too much to not make it a song. I don't know if everything will sound the same, but you can expect this to be a song at some point. That's actually something I might actually really like, Megadon. I actually would love to make this into a song. I would probably make this into a song someday. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of that. If I had the room, I would absolutely have a studio. I would love just monitor speakers, but because right now I have THX speakers, and why you don't want THX speakers when you're mixing and mastering music is because they enhance things like the bass and stuff like that. So when someone else takes it and listens to it in their car or off their phone or something, the bass is weaker on their end because on my end, when I was making it, the bass was really powerful. So currently when I make music, I make it using my Sennheiser headphones. Then I listen to it on my PC speakers and do adjustments to it again. Then I grab this pair of shit phones that I got for dirt cheap, and I mix it again using those, and then I listen to all three of them at once. And it's a goddamn nightmare. I would like a good set of open back mixing headphones. I've been looking at them. They're kind of pricey. It'll happen down the road. I'm not too worried about it. But I do like the idea of having a music stream, like just for a day or like once every 2 weeks. Because with all the streaming we've been doing, I have missed making music. It's something I didn't expect to love as much as I do. And one thing I am doing, there is someone who's looking to make a montage video. He is a friend of mine from another Discord I belong in, and he's asked me to do a music video for that montage. I'm a big fan of stuff like that, but what I want to kind of try and do, I've seen it done very rarely, but where I think his video, he said it's a montage for Apex Legends. It's called Apex Legends, right? I'm having like a brain moment. All I hear it called is Apex, and I don't play it. I think it's Apex Legends. So I was thinking of like, he wants like lo-fi, like hip hop. So I was thinking of having a song kind of like that, but have his gunshots contribute to the song. So like having like a sniper shot kick off the drop or something in a song. I think that'd be really cool. Hey Sel, how are you, my friend? I hope you're having a good day. It's super awesome to have all these people in here. I was excited to do this one-on-one stream for the 200 followers thing, but I didn't expect it to take off really as much as it did. This is crazy. I was happy as soon as I woke up and I saw you and Raven in the Discord talking about whatever it is you talk about. It's a new experience every time every time I come in there. I'm always not sure if I should be like LOL or if I should be like, yes officer, this comment right here. I will say something we've been doing recently, or I've been doing recently, that everyone's been really supportive about is me doing longer streams on one game. The current situation is that in the game list, we are trying to go through the game library. And going through can mean a couple different things. Going through it to me does not mean just playing an hour of each game and then abandoning it. There are some games that, because of this system we've come up with now, they're games I never would have played otherwise. I never would have looked at that and opened it up and been like, yeah, I want to play this. Then I've started playing and been like, holy shit, I actually kind of really, really like this game. I want to see it through to the end. And the problem is most of the games that we've played, I would say 60% of them are games that I want to see through to the end, and they're all marked ongoing in this game list. And ongoing is now the most occupied status in the entire game list. And that's why I'm glad people have let me actually go through games without being like, oh, we're supposed to be a variety stream, different game every hour. True, but sometimes you find an awesome game you want to go through. We're going to be beating Devil May Cry, I'll tell you that right now. And we're going to be playing Final Fantasy X all the way through as well. We are going to be going back to Desolate. I know I had a little bit of a rage quit moment, but I'm going to break Desolate. Like, I'm going to intentionally break Desolate because I hate it. I hate that game so much. I'm now breaking it out of spite, essentially. That's what it's turned into now. I'm breaking it out of spite because it upset me so badly. There's not a lot of games. Look at Fury. Fury pissed me off and I never went back to it. I didn't break it out of spite. Desolate's put me through so much hell now that I want to break that game. I want to just break everything that's important to it. I will say, though, we have climbed up. That wasn't a rage moment. That was a fear moment, and a very real fear moment. You saw the size of that spider, all right? You don't just hang around or find a solution. When you've got something that big with that many legs running up on you, you just get the fuck out. You don't stop to ask, what would work, or what should I do? You ask, how fast can I run, and how fast can it run? That's the only thing that matters. In my case, my fastest way of running was Alt F4. Solved the issue completely. I'm still here alive today because of that quick action. The giant fly swatter, you have to get close to it to do that. Unless that flace water is like 25 feet long, I'm not doing it. Yeah, exactly. Like Megadon says, 8 times the speed of me, minimum. I'm alt F4ing. You couldn't pay me to stay in that game. If that would have been VR, I might have punched myself in the throat to end my own life so it couldn't get to me. True story. If a spider bigger than me busts through my door right now, I'm going to jam this speaker through my skull, this microphone through my skull, in order to avoid having to face it. I know I'm not getting out of this room. There's one door. The window's like suicide windows. I'm not getting out that. It's my only solution. I have to like strangle myself before it gets to me or I'm screwed. It's not coming for hugs. I can tell you that right goddamn now. Not get me with that one again. A free hugs thing is always a lie. Life pro tip from Mike today. Easy, Frodo would be dead. Alright, Tick, you take care, my friend. And I hope to see you again sometime. Maybe you'll remember where you know me from now. Or maybe not. It's fine. You know, I won't be picky about it. No, Shelob, no one would be getting rescued from Shelob. Like, Frodo would be calling for help, I'd already be halfway home. It's like, as soon as I heard it, I was gone. Me and my wife, we have an agreement. She takes care of spiders, I take care of snakes. That's the deal. I don't mind snakes. I'll deal with snakes all goddamn day. Spiders I won't touch. I don't care how big or small it is. I'm moving out of this house until she kills that spider. Until she has photo evidence. It's true, I didn't remember either. But to be fair, I don't remember a lot of things. That's actually probably more of a problem. But I'm glad you're here, and I did remember your name. Because I remembered the first time you came in, I fucked your name up, and you explained it to me. And I asked you if you have to explain it all the time, and you said, all the time. You gotta stop doing that, Sal. There's a reason I don't show my viewers. And it goes back to exactly what I said earlier. The more people you add in a room, the more awkward I kind of get. So for me, I have found the best way for me to make sure you're always getting me and not like you know when you get uncomfortable or something, or if you go into a group of people you don't really know, you're obviously being you, but you're also kind of gauging the other people in the room to kind of determine the you that you should be, if that makes sense. When I can't see my viewers, you're only getting me. I don't know, like, and to be completely honest, I don't think I've ever had enough viewers to be a different, to get that kind of nervousness, but I wouldn't know, because I do think actually, there's a time I can check from my achievements where it says, we almost got the 50 viewers at the same time achievement. We're at like, we got like to 48 or something. And that blows my mind, because that means I don't even know what stream it was, but at some point, I was streaming, there was like 48 people watching me. Can you believe that? I mean, obviously I'm really glad because that means people enjoy me, but that's like, that's incredible. That's 40 something people who are sitting there watching me do whatever it is I'm doing and obviously enjoying it to some degree. That makes me feel awesome. It makes me feel like, you know, it's already worth it, but it's nice to know that my overall goal of meeting people and, you know, having fun that day, and even now with friggin' 9 viewers, that goal's met. I meet my goal almost every single day. And even then, if I have a stream where no one tunes in because it's late or whatever, I meet my goal through Discord. That's right, too. Happy International Women's Day. Forgot about that. I'm not a woman, but I respect them. I respect them. It's like the most generic thing you could say. What? Should it have been more proper? Should I have had something prepared for that? I've only read that it's International Women's Day like 3 times and I totally forgot. It's uh, there's so many jokes, and I'm just not gonna go for it. I'm not gonna bite. It's International Women's Day. I'm glad. Here's the problem that's going on in my head right now. My head is thinking of a joke, and then immediately, as soon as I remember it's Happy International Women's Day, I don't know why I keep calling it Happy International Women's Day, as if that's the actual full name of of the thing. But I immediately think of my wife. Excuse me. Is this girl? She doesn't really have a lot of experience with depression or drug abuse or stuff like that. So her being with someone like me, it I can understand from her point of view that would be a really tough thing to try and support, because anyone who's really suffered from depression knows that even someone who knows a lot about it, doing their best intentions, like doing their best to make you feel better, they can't make you feel better. It's not something that someone can fix. It's something that has to pass, or something that you have to work on fixing. And she's really embraced that wholeheartedly. She doesn't ever try to fix anything. She's just there. She she's a really independent person in her own ways, and in a lot of ways, despite her being 7 years younger than me, I really aspire to be the way she is in a lot of areas. She is always so calm, and I am a very rambunctious person. If something gets to me, I fucking blow off the handle. It's something I work on all the time, because part of my ADHD is I don't have a lot of a middle point. I have 0 and I have 100, and that is how I've always been. So all I can think of when I read something like International Women's Day is my wife, my mom, my sister. Like, all of them have worked really, really hard and fought really, really hard for the type of people that they are. And me growing in a house, like I was raised in a house with women, I got to see a lot of struggles that come with that. It's it's interesting. When I was growing up, until after I was already in college, my mom actually ran a women's shelter. And I think, you know, I'm not getting into all this just for like all, going for that sobby soft point because it's International Women's Day. This reminded me actually of all that. My mom ran a women's shelter and a women's group. And I think growing up around that and getting to see kind of like the dark sides of abuse, which abuse is always a dark side, getting to see like the different types, physical, mental, emotional. I I think it really opened me up to the struggles of people. And I think that also was one of the things that drives, apart from my own experiences, what I want to do with this channel. I went to video games, like I said, and making content to help fight my depression. But I understand that sometimes all I really needed was a distraction. And if my content, even if my content's dumb some days, if my content can be a distraction for people who need it, that's what I really want. That's how I can make a difference in my own little way. I'm not going to change the world, but I can change someone else's world, even if for like 15 minutes. If and at least if they come into the community, I can work hard to make sure that let them know I see them. I know that they're there, that I care about them, that they're loved, that they're thought of. And it's not an easy thing to do, especially when life gets busy. You can have people that you care about that you don't talk to for months or maybe even a year, but you're always thinking about them. I find that even just even if you don't have anything to say, just letting someone know that you're thinking about them and that you know that they're there, that can say a lot. When I was living on my own and my depression was at its worst, it might be 8 or 9 months without me seeing anybody. Like, I would stay home and I would order food to me, and that was pretty much it. I lived off of like loans and stuff because I was young and stupid, and I was not where I wanted to be. And I'm really glad that people have taken to me, and I I'm really glad that this channel has given me an opportunity to connect with people in a way I know I'm not comfortable doing in real life. It's a personal wall, a personal block. I can't be the same genuine person in real life because for some reason I find myself constantly afraid. I it goes back to people who are class clowns. You know, in school, always that one kid. I was that kid. I was the class clown because it was easier to make people laugh than to be myself and risk being rejected. And I'm glad that after years of doing this, I can now come on to a camera and be comfortable and be myself with people who I don't know or don't know yet. And to still have that kind of connection that I think my soul needs, even if my mind is constantly fighting against it. And loans are the worst. I'm still paying off my loans. They're bullshit. And I won't reject you people. I might tell you you're being an asshole if you're being an asshole, but I'm kind of blunt like that. And you know what? That's another thing too. It's really tough for people to believe that I will not lie to you. I will tell you the truth even if it's going to hurt your feelings, but there's a reason for that. When I was a kid, I was an impulsive liar. I lied about everything. What the hell just happened? Oh, Chase. I was like, Cell, you just fucking bombed the entire chat. What did you just do? You fucking goof. Oh my god, I hate this. This is miserable. I bet none of you have ever seen a raid reaction like that. The raid comes in and the guy's just like, fuck, Jesus, just tossing shit off the deck. Okay, the squid one, I like the squid emote. Never use it again. Oh my god, I hate that. That is the worst raid system ever. Can you ban, like, raid emotes? And it sucks too, because I love Chase. If you don't know Chase, not only is he a streamer, but he actually makes music as well. And his music is badass. I'll try and post a link to it sometime, or I'll let him post a link to it himself. But he plays I'm just gonna call it metal guitar. I think that's the most general thing I could say that people would understand. And one thing I really love about I listen to some of the stuff he plays. Oh my god, what the fuck? Oh, is it me? I forgot I have alerts on. I just saw the audio meter going and I was like, oh my god, do I have a stream open? One thing I really like about Chase's guitar style, and I guess it's something you can say about a lot of that kind of guitar style, is the amount of control you need to have and the kind of the hook on timing you need to have for that kind of guitar style is insane. It's something I still, even in my 13 years, my 13 years of playing guitar, I still have not managed to grasp as well as Chase has. I don't know if he has his music posted up anywhere for people to find. I know it's on YouTube, but I'll see if I can track that down because I definitely have a link to. Actually, you know what? Actually, let me see. There's a link to one of the first thing he showed me, and I really enjoyed that. But what I was saying is the reason why I understand people find it hard to believe that when I tell them I'm going to be always honest with you, I'll tell you something even if I know it's going to upset you. Like I said, the reason why I'm like that now is because before, when I was growing up, I was an impulsive liar. I lied all the time about things that you didn't even have to lie about. It's like there was no situation of me getting in trouble or someone else getting in trouble. Someone would ask me something and the first thing out of my mouth would be a lie. And I was like that through pretty much through all of high school as well. And what it really, I learned a few things. One, it takes a lot more energy to tell a lie and maintain a lie than to just tell the truth and bear the consequences. Two, you can really hurt people with lies. Even if you think it's a lie for their benefit, you can hurt people with lies in brutal ways. And three, if you lie to somebody, any other time you tell them the truth after that, there will always be a thin veil of doubt. And you've essentially poisoned that relationship. Even if even if someone says that they were fine or that they know that you've changed, I always it's a bit more of an extreme situation, but I always bring it back to being in a relationship and one person cheats on the other. That other person might say they forgive you and that they believe that you'll never do it again, but there will always be a thin little layer of doubt forever in that relationship. Because trust is fragile. It's as fragile as it is powerful. As soon as you have someone's trust, it is your responsibility to maintain that trust. And if you don't take care of it and you damage it, you have to be willing to accept the consequences of not having it anymore. If you do betray it, you may as well accept that it's gone forever, because that same trust is never going to be there again. And that is why I am brutally honest with people now. There's been probably people here who have asked me to check out your stream, and I've gone and checked it out, and I've gave you a bunch of things, like the audio quality could be a bit better. I noticed that you're dropping some frames here, you're having some issues here. I won't just tell you, looks great, man. I won't just be like, yeah, top notch, best thing ever. No, man, if I can see room for improvements, I'll give it to you. You might not be thrilled about it. You might have worked 2 tireless years getting your quality to where you want it to be. And if I see something up with it, I'll let you know. Or and I don't think Night Shifter's in here right now, but Night Shifter, I won't say anything about it because I've had a lot of personal conversations with the Night Shifter on the side, but he is someone that could attest to what I'm saying right now. If I need to give you tough fucking love, I will give it to you. There will be no sense of like, yeah, man, but you gotta try this. It will be more like, you're being fucking dumb. And you need to listen to me right now. Sometimes, as a person, you need to be told that you're being dumb, and you need to bring it back down a notch. We get so caught up in our own heads that we are the best at blowing up minor situations into catastrophic events. Sometimes you need someone that'll like smack you in the back of the head and be like, dude, calm the fuck down. You're fine. You stub your toe, your house isn't on fire. There is one other thing, actually, now that I think about it. It's not related, I promise you, it's not related to anything that we've talked about yet. But it's something that has been on my mind recently for personal reasons and for, it's been in the media. But recently, we've had another chain of people who commit suicide. You had, I can't remember the names. Welcome to my memory. It's pretty goddamn bad. And this is going to make me sound worse, but the only one who I can remember is the lead singer of Prodigy. Also can't remember his name, which sucks because I listened to him. I listened to Prodigy growing up like mad. It used to be Sweet Dreams Are Made of These by Marilyn Manson. What was it? I'm With Stupid by Static X. And then you would get Baby's Got a Temper by Prodigy. And that was like, I can't remember what it was. It was like MTV after, it was like MTV Loud or YTV After Dark. YTV had like a music thing. Anyways, that one hit me really hard. But recently I've talked to some people who have kind of expressed that they were getting to that point. And as someone who has also been to that point, if there's anyone here who has not ever gotten to the point of being suicidal and is very confused when you hear about someone who is really, really famous or doing really well or always seemed really happy committing suicide. I can't give you the answers, but I can give you some insight. When you get to that point, you can have the biggest support network in the world. You can have everything you want. It doesn't matter. It honestly doesn't matter. And as selfish as that sounds, it's not. Because I want to try and help you understand the mindset a person like that is in. They're suffering with something. Maybe it's just depression as a whole. And depression itself is very, very good at making you feel alone and completely unique in what you're struggling with. It's very, very good at making you feel like there better is not an option for you anymore. This is your new life now. And when you get to that point and you've spent who knows how many years suffering with it, suicide seems like the only option because one, it's the only bit of control you feel you have left. It's the only decision, like, if your life is going to be miserable, then you are making the decision that you don't want to live it anymore. Another part it can be is that when better seems so far away, you don't see a light at the end of that tunnel anymore. And the part that it was for me personally was, yeah, I might be able to get better, but so far, the process of getting to that point has been so crushing that I just can't take it anymore. And that's what it was for me. And the things that kept me going is one, making content, making music, playing games. It sounds really kind of cliche, but that's really what it was. Anything to keep my mind busy, any little thing like, oh, I just want to get to that next plot point. I just want to get, that next set of collectibles. Delays you for an hour. Before you know it, you're going to sleep, you're getting back up, and you can go on through the next day. The second thing I would do to help me get better is when I would get up, I would have a shower, I would get dressed, I would make my bed, because those little bits of improvement, even if I wasn't going anywhere, would kind of pick my brain back up. There's something really refreshing about just getting ready for the day. And the other big one was being a stubborn bastard. Life is a long time, and I had seen I had seen what people go through when someone that they love is now gone. I had experienced a lot of loss already, and I didn't want to be the one responsible for putting people through that. And it's really easy to say, well, I'll be gone, so I don't have to worry about that. Like, I won't have to deal with it. But that is a selfish part. That is a selfish mindset in it. In my opinion, it is. I refused to put the people who did care about me through that because I felt I couldn't take it anymore. So I just kept going, one day at a time. And I eventually built it into this mindset where suicide was a permanent solution to temporary problems. And if I just kept going, I could resolve the problems. I can fix problems. I can't come back from a decision like that. So I like to have options. I like to be able to, I like to at least give it my all before I call it quits. And after I took a break from even making, like, I pretty much stopped playing games, I stopped making content, and I went to strictly making music. And I spent almost a year doing that, still releasing the odd video here and there because I didn't want my channel to appear dead, but I had definitely slowed down. And now, I would say since early March of 2016, probably something like that. I've been how you see me now. I've been getting a lot better. I all that time off, constantly focusing on myself, gave you who I am today and who you got making content for you. I still am I'm still a little nervous about being as weird as I normally am on camera. I do dial it back a little bit just because I would annoy the fuck out of everybody. Jalen got a little taste of it. There was like 30 seconds yesterday during Imperion where I talk like Mickey Mouse for no reason other than to strictly annoy people. And I loved it. And I did another voice too, strictly to annoy people because I love it. And you can tell when I'm getting to that point because I'll turn off my webcam and I'll only have my mic on because I don't want people to see me making those voices. The point is, it's been a lot of fun. It's this all of this has been so enjoyable. And the growth from 60 something followers to the over 200 we have now, it's been really incredible to see. You know, think about it. We're talking 13, this will be my 14th year making content and never seeing that amount of like natural real growth that quickly. It's all been pretty jarring, but what's really held it all together has been the people I've met. Honestly, like there's too many for me to name. There I I've got to meet so many different types of people, and I've got the opportunity to learn about so many things that I didn't know before just from talking to people. Another thing I really love is just learning new things and being able to meet people and connect with people. And I will say, sometimes it has been really, really hard for me personally. It's hard because since I joined Twitter, which I'm as a lot of you know, I really don't enjoy social media. Since I joined Twitter, I've had to come face to face with a beast I left a long time ago. I've met it. I've seen that beast in some people who come to my channel regularly now. But I've had to come face to face with things that I've already dealt with years ago. It's what caused me to make that Twitter video months back in the first place. There's a really weird part of me that hurts when I am talking to people or I'm seeing like one thing I'll do constantly is I'll just search up streamers or hashtag streamers on Twitch and just see what people are on Twitter and just see what people are kind of saying. And it really hits me in a weird way when I see people struggling with a lot of the things that I used to struggle with. And for a little while I was really crushed, and now I've just kind of come to accept it. Hey Natty, I'm calling you Natty. I'm just letting you know that right now. I'm waiting for like the name explanation now. Where they're like, actually, it's Aknin Adi. No, it's Naughty now because I'm not going to pronounce your name right any other time. I have come to understand now that there are certain things in life that no matter how much you try and warn someone about, you can't. You've got to let them go through the cycle, as miserable as that sounds. Tell me, I want to know something about your life. If don't make it something terrible. If you This is like actually a story. Age 0 years I was born. Is this like from is this like your like Twitter bio that you've copied and pasted into chat right now? I love the brackets and the ages. Have you ever seen that Game Grumps skit? Oh my god, I love it. He's like, at age 7 I was born without a face. I now feel closer to you than I've ever been in my entire life. I'm really glad that we have this opportunity to get to know each other better. My point is that if if you're going through something and I give you advice, I can't make you take it. That's fine. I like to imagine that you have like paper notebooks that you're jotting this stuff down. 12:36, I bought a sandwich. 12:38, I dropped my sandwich. 12:40, I cried in the shower. 1 o'clock, I stopped crying in the shower. It's hitting a little too close to home for some people, I think. I don't have social media really either. Twitter is the only one, and I really only got it to help connect with people and spread the word about my channel, because I don't know if you've noticed, I really don't like promoting my channel. You can go through my tweets and count the amount of hashtags in a month probably on two hands. I really don't like promoting my channel. And I get it. That's also going to really hurt me. But I hate advertisements. Like on a personal level, I hate advertisements. That's why I, as like a personal vendetta, I do not advertise my channel. I am going to be one of those people that maybe someday people will spread word about it through word of mouth or like sharing something, but I don't like doing promotions. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with promotions. Doing promotions is smart. You gotta kind of be on top of it. I just don't really care all that much. Like I said, I'm already doing what I want to do, so I'm already there. God damn it. Okay, let me hear a poem. Is this gonna be like an insightful reading? Lumberzack coming in with the lurk. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Mary, mother of Satan's left nipple. It feels like my eyes are made entirely out of your. This isn't even a. This isn't even like a. What is that?
I'm an adult. I don't know.
That's a terrible poem. You should feel bad about that.
Damn cookies as I want to.
I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. I don't. That's a terrible poem. I'm just gonna level with you. That's awful. Not even just like the subject matter, but I mean the delivery is sloppy as fuck, Naughty. You've been sleeping on the job. What the hell is that? That's one of many issues. I'm gonna lose Naughty as a follower because of the whole brute honesty thing I told you about before. Don't call me unintelligent swine because you're bad at poetry, okay? You can't. This is like those people that like throw mud at a wall and then spray paint it gold and they're like, art, give me $1,000. I'll tell you what, I will host that poem, but only for the exposure. I think that's the level of like paying an artist an exposure is like the worst thing in the universe. Don't ever offer to pay someone who makes anything in exposure. It's like giving a digital slap in the face. That deformed Kermit you posted in the Discord is more of like it's more of a society piece, you know. It's all about how expectations of the memories of our youth will become disjointed and deformed as we grow older. I got the symbolism. I understand. Oh, here it comes. Share it with me, Naughty. What do you got? Are you turning green and ripping your shirt apart right now? Because I'm warning you right now, that's against Twitch TOS and they won't like it. I got you really angry, but not enough to capitalize the really. Naughty, you're killing me, and I don't know if it's intentional or not. But I love it. Hi, Callie. Welcome. Welcome to whatever this is about to become. Is it Chanel? Oh, God. Oh. Don't make me, like, lose it. You still gotta, like, stay within some kind of, like, guideline. Oh my god! What the fuck did I just do? I fucking... No! Shit! That's not... Okay. Naughty, that's not what I wanted to happen. That's not... Shit! I just nuked Chanel. So... The last message, Naughty, was not okay. Don't post stuff like that in the chat. I didn't expect to nuke every comment you posted ever. I just meant to remove the one, but apparently purge is a very general statement of just get rid of everything. I apparently killed everything Naughty has ever wrote in this Twitch so far. Unintentionally. It was purely due to my own ignorance and lack of understanding of what these buttons do, but I think it got the job done. I don't know what timed out means, but it was only for 1 second, and I can only assume not the entire chat. Hey Chris, how's it going? I will say, I'm really glad we did this one-on-one kind of stream. Big thank you to Jalen for honestly encouraging it. I didn't realize people enjoyed these one-on-one interactions as much as they did, but yeah, I would love to do these more often. Naughty, don't fuck with me, dude, or dudette. I'm telling you right now. Red vs. Blue was a great series. I don't care. I don't care if you're pregnant. What's that matter to me? Congratulations, by the way. This has devolved into like such a nightmare. Oh, I would really like to do these one-on-one streams more often. I'm glad we got to do it at the 200 follower point. But maybe we could do these more often. Every like couple weeks we can do it. I'm all for it. We've been doing this now for... This stream has turned into something. This Rooster Teeth, in my opinion, has declined. They aren't bad, but they aren't the same Rooster Teeth I fell in love with way back. Thanks, Boo. It's been really, really awesome. I know there's not actually 200 people here. Like, the 200 followers thing is a really kind of exploded number. But I would say, realistically, we have about 12. We have about 12 followers of the channel. We have a lot of followers that kind of... A lot of those followers are from before. I took everything from, I would say, 60 followers and back. Those people aren't here anymore because of the kind of depression breaks I took years ago. So I kind of get that. But nonetheless, the growth has been awesome. And I even told Jalen, if you want another one-on-one video, I'll just do it. even if we don't hit 200 people, I'll do it anyways because I really love these. I haven't watched RWBY yet. I really only watched their actual Red versus Blue series. Once they started going off into other things, I kind of stopped watching them. I did used to watch, fuck, what was it? Wasn't it Michael who used to rage quit? It was a series called Rage Quit where he would just lose his mind. Yeah, I loved that. My favorite one, oh my god, you know what? I gotta find it. I gotta find it now. It's such a quick clip. It's this one right here.
Yo, this is
Alright, I'll post this in there. This is by far my favorite one. Hold on, can I do this? Yeah, okay, perfect.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist. Just came out today. I've been playing it a bit. It's pretty goddamn fucking fantastic, especially if you're a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! And the best Yu-Gi-Oh! The early gen Yu-Gi-Oh! Because you can actually do the whole story that the show followed. So I actually just finished fucking Duelist Island or Duelist Kingdom, whatever the fuck it was. I beat Pegasus. So now I'm in the Battle City, and I'm gonna beat the shit out of this fucker right here. It's always better to go second because you can't attack on your first turn. All right, fucking, that's great. What? Are you fucking kidding me?
That's my favorite one. Watching him lose to Exodia firsthand killed me when I saw it. That is by far my favorite. It goes immediately from 0 to 100, and there's only about 15 seconds when it starts, like, devolving back down to being a mess. What are you doing, webcam? You completely changed the lighting in the room from switching from one scene to another. Do not mess about. Oh my god, I'm so white now. Well, I was... You understand. Oh my god, that's worse. Wait for it. Wait for it. Eesh. Okay, maybe that, but not quite that. A bit dark still. Oh my god, I'm so fucking white. I've always been white. You know what, this is fine. This looks normal. I'm gonna purge you again. You know this. I'm gonna do it. Working tonight, game date. Okay. You're making me, dude, you're making me do this. You know, I don't want to do this, but you're making me do this. Boom. Don't be annoying. Just come hang out and be normal. All right? And that's normal in, like, air quotes. Have you seen me? Have you met, like, half the people who come in here to, like, hang out with me? You don't... It wasn't even anything, though. It wasn't... The message didn't even finish. It was just like it was like he copied a text message he received and just posted it in the chat. I have no problem if you want to talk to me. Dude, I read it twice to make sure. I read it twice to make sure. There was nothing in there that contributed to anything anyone said, or even what I do on the channel, or what's going on. And I know I've talked to Natty before, and he's a relatively normal person. Well, she's a relatively normal person. I don't know anymore. It's 2019. I don't want to call out the titles. I'll have someone crawling up my ass for it. Cardboard guys. Oh my god. This has been the best first hour and a half of a stream I think I've ever had. I've had so much fun just talking to people. And I got to kind of give people a good insight into who I am and what I'm doing. See, but that's the thing. The reason why I don't mind Chris saying something like that is because that's like the only time Chris has really ever just tossed something out there and been like, it's just been fucking weird and random. Naughty has been consistently doing it without like having any breaks for genuine conversation. At that point, I gotta pull the cord. I know Chris is a good dude. I know Chris is great. I don't gotta worry about, like, if he says something weird, or Sal, I know you, I know Raven, I know Jalen. If one of you guys says something super weird and not related in chat, I know you well enough to know that you're making a joke and you're not just trying to be a nuisance, right? But I don't know. I do know you too. I obviously, yeah. So Raven is Raven. Probably makes me laugh. She's probably one of the people that makes me laugh the most because I never really know what Raven's going to say next. And and half the time it's kind of wholesome. Sometimes it's kind of wholesome. A lot of the times it's on the edge and I don't know if I should be concerned or enthralled or intrigued, or if I should just not ask questions and close off the Discord entirely and just move somewhere else. Oh man, this has been good. I had time to go through my entire tea in the time we were sitting here chatting. This has been great. And now we've got some decent games coming up. I was thinking of playing a little bit of... Yeah, I know. I enjoy their green tea. I used to be a big coffee person, but apparently I can't trust them to make a black coffee. They always put something in it and ruin it. And I usually make that's what I'm here for. Don't make fun of my vape. Don't. This is a temporary step in a very long quitting process. You're tempting me by showing it in the corner. This video here, this stream is the only time people have ever seen me vape on stream. If you're ever watching my stream, and I've got like the webcam at the bottom left there, if you ever see it go away and my mic is muted, it's because I'm using my vape. I don't like to show it on stream typically, but one-on-one stream, it's supposed to be me and everyone else, so I didn't feel right hiding it if I'm doing a one-on-one stream because this is me. Really? That probably would have been done in error, or I didn't know about it. Here is the actual reason why I normally don't like showing it on stream. One, I hate Vape Nation jokes. Because I get it. Some people are really bombastic with it, and they're like, I want the big clouds, and I want to go, like, I want to do my tricks, or whatever. I strictly got mine to quit smoking. So, I just don't like bringing it into conversation. Two, I know how hard it was for me to quit, like, smoking. And I worry that someone would come into the channel and see me using it, and if they're in the process of trying to quit, they would get a craving to go and like have a smoke or go and get something like that. Because I'm very much like that. Since I've been like reducing the nicotine I'm taking in, if I'm watching a show or something and I see someone smoking, I'm immediately going for my vape. And that, I don't like having it up for that reason. For me, it's strictly because I needed something that was going to last me all day. My vape, the reason why I got one that's so big is because it's dual battery. It lasts me all day, all night, because I stay up really late, and I don't really have to worry about it. But that's why I don't like showing it to people. I don't want to make times harder for someone that's trying to quit. I don't want to, like, my wife. My wife has never, before she met me, she had never been near anyone who smoked or used a vape or anything like that. So I understand there's people out there that aren't fully comfortable with that world of things. So I don't like having it on the channel. I'll always mute myself or hide my camera or something like that, and then bring the camera and stuff back up. But like I said, one-on-one videos will be one-on-one. You will get me, and I'm not gonna hide anything. I'm not gonna hide anything about it. It just kind of defeats the whole purpose of why I do this in the first place. Beat Saber's been going so good. I just had an outburst of Beat Saber. I don't know why it popped into my mind. But we've been doing so great. I'm digging the deep V-neck. This shirt is so old. I'm pretty sure this V-neck was not this low when I got this shirt. But I'm in a very weird kind of living situation right now. So the room you're seeing me in right now, I primarily live in this room. I have a bedroom where I sleep. And then when I'm not in there, I'm in here all the time. So I don't have, in the current situation I'm in, I don't have enough room to store my clothes properly. When I moved from a much bigger place into a much smaller place. And where I had more room before I moved into where I am now. So this is like perfectly placed right now. No, I don't. I hate sleeping on that couch. It is, you want to kill your back really quick, spend any good amount of time on that couch, and you will hate your life forever. No, I don't sleep on the couch. My bedroom is like right on the opposite side of this wall in front of me right now. Other than that, I spend most of my time in here. And this camera is like perfectly set. Because all on that side is like all of the things that I don't have room to store. All of my laundry is like right here. Like just off camera. So at the odd times, well, I mean, pillows just, the blanket is to cover up how hideous that couch looks. That's the pure reason for the blanket. The pillow is just because when the wife comes in here to hang out, she will lay on that couch. She brings the dogs in and the dogs chill on that couch. Me, I am always where you see me right now. I don't really move from this chair. This has been my setup for probably 14 years. Having my computer here and my TV right beside it, all linked up. Well, the wife does. Especially recently, because she hasn't been feeling well. So at the times when she's been home from work and kind of winding down, she's been chilling on there. But no, I can't stay on that couch. It is way too uncomfortable. Nope. She won't. Because of how my setup is, you've got my TV here, so she can always come in. And because of how my microphone and everything is set up and the filters and everything I got on it, you never hear her come in. But she can just look over and see if my cam is up or not, and she will not come into the shot if that's up. So if you ever see me like look over and then my cam and everything goes dead, that's why. It's most likely she came in to let me know like that she got home or something like that, and I'll usually take a minute to, you know, go welcome her home and find out how her day was and stuff like that. It's this is a really random thing to toss out right now. I just want to say I'm really, really happy. I am. I'm happy with all this. You know, I will, Sal. I'll tell her. Talking about all of this and like my past and what brought me to where we are now has really, really made me realize while talking to everyone here how happy I am to be sitting here right now. I am not a robot. It's a new line. It's not a robot. I'm a human. Bob Ross was a human. Oh, I gotta type out that joke, or it doesn't make as much sense. Here. There we go. I stand by it. That is nowhere near close to the worst joke I've ever told on this channel. By far. This is, actually, Jalen puts in hard work. That's okay, Konzo. That's okay. The joke isn't worth it to put in effort. Oh, Chris. Chris is about to get kicked from the channel. That's just normal stream delay. Oh man. Jalen has been working very, very hard on creating a collection of clips that make me look like a terrible person. And I love it. I love it. He's made some really, really good ones of making me look like a piece of shit, honestly. I don't even know, like, I probably do. I can probably see them. But he actively tries to make clips that paint me in a bad light. And it's been a very enjoyable thing for me, to be completely honest. I gotta find some of these. They're not even anything big. It's just, I don't know why he makes them, but I do love them. Yeah, shit like this. It's so dumb. So this one's just called Innocent Man Killed. Like, that's it. This one's just called Innocent Dog Killed. I'm starting to get it's just the same fucking thing. Where was the other one? This is another one he did.
That would be awesome.
It's touching penises.
Yeah, that was definitely worth clipping, for sure. Or, what about my favorite one? I believe this one's from Jalen as well. I think this is one from him as well. Oh no, is it gone? It better not be. It's one of my favorites because it makes me sound like a total asshole. I refuse. There's no way that one's gone. No. It was my favorite one. Well, it's gone now. I don't understand why or how, but it is now gone. Oh, that makes me so sad. No. Interesting. Oh yeah, here it is. This is my favorite one.
The ship is overpopulated. Well, no. Can I sell people? Can I? Uh-oh. Can I sell the humans I've let on my ship? Not enough crewmen for all-armed turrets. Not enough crew for... Shit. Shit. So they're just jammed in there right now? That's no good. I can't have that.
I love Jalen's ongoing make me look like a total piece of shit series that he's doing. I don't know why. It's so funny. Some of them are kind of like, eh, and I kind of delete them because I can't understand what he was going for. But so I keep any other one that makes sense to me, I keep, because sometimes you just need a little reminder that you're not always as good as you think you are. Jalen's really, really good at reminding me of that. Oh, that's really it. All I want to do now is play some games. But I'll tell you one thing. I have to pee like a racehorse. That tea, it flowed through me with a veracity I've not yet known in my life. Oh my god. Can you join? Can you join the process of making me look terrible? Or join the Discord? Because I gotta let you know, you're already in the Discord. I don't know if you knew that, but you're in there. I'll think about Deep Rock. How about that? Because Deep Rock, I would definitely be playing it solo first to get my bearings. But I'll try Deep Rock. I bought it for a reason. And then we're going to, let's see, there was Deep Rock. There was, obviously, more Devil May Cry. I want to play more of that. I'm just looking at my really miserable, unorganized list. Yeah, I saw that they have a tutorial, so I'll probably go through that. I think I started it, but didn't finish it. Since I first mentioned it, I'm still waiting for my game list to open. Doesn't matter how strong the computer is. Windows itself seems to have an issue loading up this list. Probationary period. Not going to get me with that one again. We've got a lot. Metro Exodus is one we could play. I'm going to break Desolate. Axiom Verge is one I want to show. I'm a big fan of Super Metroid. It's one of my favorite games growing up. Axiom Verge, I think, is a really great game that kind of reminds me of Super Metroid. We don't ask questions you don't want the answer to. Oh my god. Oh my god! Holy shit, can we do that? Sal, you just reminded me. Is Hulk Ultimate Destruction available on PC? Was it ever released on Windows? It wasn't, but it was released on PlayStation 2. Oh, that kills me. That can't be true. That can't be true. True. Alright, well, I guess I'm getting an emulator to work so we can play Hulk Ultimate Destruction, because I love that game. And I just for some random reason got reminded of a random PS2 game I haven't played in forever. You know what we need to get? We need to get a USB Nintendo 64 controller. How much is a USB Nintendo 64 controller? Because then we could do a crying montage. And every breath, like in the cry, like, you know, when you're crying and you're taking those big, like, gross, heavy breaths, every breath it will switch to the next event of me crying. It'll be great. And it'll be like me crying in places with no context. So it'll be like standing at the bus stop, standing in the grocery store, standing in the bathroom, crying in the shower, crying while walking the dogs. It's a USB Nintendo 64 controller. What? Only $28? Serious? Seems odd. Seems odd. Can I sort this by Can I sort this by rating? I don't want to buy some bullshit one. Alright. Wait, no, that's an actual one for the console. This one looks good. What's shipping on this bad boy? I want to play Nintendo 64 games on an emulator. Oh my god. Well, yeah, obviously I want this. Obviously I want... Whoa, hold on a minute. What colors are we talking here? Are we just doing the standard black? Or can I get that bitch in purple one? The purple see-through one? No? Alright, well. Fine, whatever. I'll settle. Bring me to my cart. I love going through my Amazon cart because I add things that I completely forget about and it never makes any sense. Like I had 1,000 live ladybugs flash frozen in my cart once for like $18, and now they don't sell them anymore. It's really upsetting. I never got a chance to buy them. Oh, come on now. Don't be dumb. Don't make me jump through hoops for this. Just give me what I want. Give me what I need. Give me what I want, give me what I need. No. No, I don't want to start a free trial. Leave me alone. What is this? How much is shipping? $0? Place my order. So we've got USB Nintendo 64 controllers on the way. This is why I have money problems. This is how my Steam library got so big. It's because something pops into my head and I'm like, huh, how much is that? And then I see it and I was like, I could probably do it. I could probably do it. I don't get the membership. I don't sign up for any of that stuff. No, I don't. I don't need it. I don't care about Twitch Prime or any of that other stuff. It means nothing to me. But we are closing in on the 2-hour point, and we got streams I want to do. It's 1:30 right now here. Oh, it's... Oh my god. Oh my god. Every part of that was miserable. My body sucks. Beat Saber is not making me as limber as I would like it to. It is making me more limber, but it needs to do its work faster. Oh. Well, folks, I'm going to end this stream here, and when we come back, we'll be playing some games. I'm going to go to the bathroom, I'm going to make a new tea, and I'm going to fill up my water bottle. That was definitely an audible snap. I told you, my body's a little on the rough side right now. But I'm sure it goes without saying, at this point, I love you folks. I appreciate you tuning in, giving me this opportunity to let you know more about me, giving me this opportunity to learn more about you. And, yeah, I'm just, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for everything. And I feel very fortunate to have had the opportunity, to have had this opportunity, ongoing opportunity, to have this one-on-one and to grow like we have. And don't worry, Chris, we'll be back in like just a few minutes. I'll be back. I looked at a watch I don't have. I can't be the only one who does that. All right, we'll be back really soon. I just want to use the bathroom, get all the setup back to doing stuff for games, and then we'll be good to go. So once again, thank you. And see you later. So dumb.